Everyone thinks you've been kicking back, drinking margaritas on the beach, but really,
I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
Remember his number, 32. Today we got 32 days until the election. So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. All right. 32 days. And we know we will do it. And this is going to be a very tight race until the very end. This is going to be a very tight race until the very end. We are the underdog, and we know we have some hard work ahead.
Donald Trump would go into the Department of Justice.
because when we think about the strength of our democracy, you know, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, oh, it's so strong in terms of what it does to uphold and protect individual rights and freedoms. So strong in its nature. And it's very fragile. It will only be as strong as our willingness to fight for it.
Countries not to go to, what to do, what not to do, and they got to pay attention. I got more work to do. So.
Madam Vice President, how do you feel?
This is an extraordinary day, and I'm very thankful for our president and what he has done over his entire career, but in particular as it relates to these families and these individuals, what he has been able to do to bring the allies together on many issues, but in particular this one. This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day, and you can see it in the families, in their eyes and in their cries.
When did you know you got the...
Okay, the last time I had beer was at a baseball game with Doug.
So cheers.
Cheers.
There you go. Ooh. That tastes like the beautiful city of Milwaukee,
the
Wisconsin.
Champagne and beers.
There you go.
How do you know empathy, man? Yes. You know, for the suffering of other people, have you no sense of purpose?
Fighting addiction can be hard. If you or anyone you know needs help or you suspect has a problem, please reach out, request a wellness check, and get help.
Epstein talk about the mega bill. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Donald Trump promised that he would lower costs on day one. It's now 6 months into his administration. The cost of groceries is up. The cost of housing is up. The cost of student loans is up. The cost of utilities is up. And I think we ought to be talking about that with the American people. Republicans are too afraid to have town halls with their own constituents. So Democrats are going to get out there and talk to the people. That's how democracy works.
So the Native American had that to say, and then this happened.
Senators voting in the affirmative: Baldwin, Blunt Rochester, Durbin, Heinrich, Hirono, Kane.
Elizabeth Warren is removed from Congress and taken outside for treatment, care, and much needed psych evaluation after she falls on the Senate floor.
Their stomachs and ability to absorb nutrition shut down, and they died. The hospital they were at, the patient's friend's hospital, had run out of emergency nutrition supplies. There are supplies that are specially designed for malnutrition among children. There are high-calorie biscuits and a high-calorie peanut paste enriched with milk powder that often goes by the name Plumpy Nut. It's designed to...
That was a live feed from yesterday evening showing the 76-year-old Massachusetts Democrat lingering in the well of the Senate during a vote on President Donald Trump's nominee to lead the U.S. Marshals Service. Warren, looking dazed, confused, inebriated, leaning back with arms crossed, presses against the desk only to feel it give way beneath her and the enormous weight of her lies, guilt, and corrupt greed. She loses her balance and topples backwards onto the floor. And to no surprise, a respectable, good man, a gentleman who still believes in honest chivalry, Republican Senator Ted Cruz, whom at 54 years old is over 2 decades her junior, and rushes to Elizabeth Warren's aid and helps her up by the arm.
We need courage. We need courage responding to crazy chat. I don't know if you saw this week. Elizabeth Warren told reporters that a guy came up to her and said, "I would have voted for you if only you had a penis." Now let me say 2 things about that. Number 1, that story is a lie. Produce this fictional person, because this human being does not exist. That is not even 1/1024th true. But number 2, in today's Democrat Party, how do we know she doesn't? My name is Elizabeth, call me Bob, this is my beard. By the way, most Americans know this is ridiculous. Leah Thomas is a dude who looks like Michael Phelps and has arms longer than anyone else.
Elizabeth Warren was unhurt, and no one was harmed in the video clips we just watched, as you all saw. But if these old farts are going to live and ultimately die as career politicians, then we should really start including walkers and hospice care in the next budget resolution spending proposal. If you're on Medicare, call Chapter now at the number you see on the screen. They can help you save money and search through thousands of plans for your state, city, and even down to your zip code. Pick up the phone, dial 270-467-2426, and on average, people just like you are saving over $1,100, $1,100. Chapter is kind, caring, friendly, unbiased, and entirely free. Annual and open enrollment is right around the corner, folks, and there's potential money savings out there that you can take advantage of right now and avoid mistakes and stop wasting. Check the description and pinned comment to learn more.
Everyone thinks you've been kicking back, drinking margaritas on the beach, but really, you've been hard at work writing a book, meeting with leaders, thinking about the future of our country. Who said that?
What leaders has Kamala been talking to? I mean, who do you think she's referring to? Has Kamala been making visits to the Middle East, Iran, Russia, or perhaps even Israel or Palestine that we don't know about? Today actually marks the anniversary, and it's already been a year, folks. 1 year ago tonight, or last night actually, on July 30th, 2024, Kamala Harris's campaign paid $5 million to have Megan Thee Stallion twerk on stage. Wow. Funny how time flies. And to think, she could have been president, leader of the free world. If anyone out there is listening, I don't know if this thing's on, let me know you're still there and just type in the comments, dodged. For thank God we dodged a bullet with this one.
Again, GDP, this is the first read of the second quarter coming in at 3%. That is better than expected, 2.4%. I want to bring in Adam Johnson. Markets are certainly watching this, right?
Yeah, Goldilocks, because I would add to that, Cheryl, that the GDP price index was only 2%, and the expectation was 2.2. In other words, we have an economy growing at, what do you say, 3%? We have inflation at 2%. That's the best of both worlds. So I'm very positive on that report, at least in the moment.
Starting next year, the IRS is cutting many retirees a bit more slack. Under the new law, individuals age 65 and older can claim an additional $6,000 deduction on top of the existing standard senior deduction. Married couples where both qualify, that's a $12,000 tax break.
Inflation's affected everybody. Once you reach your senior age and you're no longer getting up and going to work every day and getting paid for whatever it is you do, you're limited to what you've been able to save.
Wins, and more wins with plenty more wins to come. Now, I'm not going to bore you with keeping score. And let's get back to the funny stuff that makes us laugh and cheer all at the same time.
Have you talked with the president about his position on the stock trading ban bill before Congress? He obviously had pretty loaded comments about Senator Hawley. There's some reporting that they've since spoken. What is his position on the current status of that bill?
The president has spoken to Senator Hawley, who called him, and the president took that call. As the president said in the Roosevelt Room yesterday, conceptually, he of course supports the idea of ensuring that members of Congress and United States senators who are here for public service cannot enrich themselves. And the reason that this idea to put a ban on stock trading for members of Congress is even a thing is because of Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she is rightfully criticized because she makes, I think, $174,000 a year, yet she has a net worth of approximately $413 million. In 2024, Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio, this was a fascinating statistic to me, grew 70% in 1 year in 2024, and her portfolio outperformed every single large hedge fund in that same year, and even more than doubled the returns of Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. So I think the president stands with the American people on this. He doesn't want to see people like Nancy Pelosi enriching themselves off of public service and ripping off their constituents in the process. As for the mechanics of the legislation and how it will move forward, the White House continues to be in discussions with our friends on Capitol Hill.
But just think for a second, okay? What legislature, what bills, what acts has Nancy Pelosi introduced or helped to pass that enriched anyone besides herself, or as much as it has her and her husband, Paul? Those returns are enormous and could have easily helped our country wipe out debt had she shared her expert trading knowledge with the Fed, maybe. Heck, Warren Buffett and Dave Portnoy are probably thinking to themselves, and I bet they wish they had the magic touch and hot hands she had successfully and without fail over the years. I mean, what a streak. She's literally on a heater. But rumor has it, the latest from the Pelosi Act and now passed Honest Act heading to Congress, thanks Josh Hawley, has a lot of these Democrats in crisis and pure panic mode, which may have led to old Pocahontas passing out on the Senate floor and then being removed from Congress for her own safety, and suggested to see EMTs to make sure she was okay. I mean, the idea of going broke, prosecution, public shame and humiliation. But I mean, really, these Dems, they have no shame. They have no humiliation. And sentencing and life in prison, or at least 10 years or more, which honestly could be all the time they really have left, might just cause them to break down, knowing Biden or Kamala or whatever Democrat puppet president isn't in office and the GOP has control over the House and Senate, leaving them out there, vulnerable, in the open, for easy pickings off. They are just like sitting ducks at the moment, it seems. Oh, and first, Pelosi on CNN with fake Tapper, then Elizabeth Warren. Next is probably AOC, but first, the New York Post drops this bombshell and says Hillary Clinton approved plan hatched by campaign aides to smear Trump with Russia collusion, referencing declassified docs. So, who knows? By the end of 2025, we could see the swamp drained and all these criminals getting exactly what they deserve, and hope they could keep kicking the can down the road, skirting by responsibility, or worse, and likely in Hillary's case, unaliving anyone who stood a chance at exposing her and getting in her way.
This woman should be in jail. Literally, Hillary Clinton should be behind bars. And so should the people who worked for her who did this. This is so blatantly corrupt. She wanted to distract from her email scandal. She cooked up a plan to accuse Trump of being a Russian agent in order to distract from her own legitimate scandal. She made up a scandal about Trump being a Russian asset. And they banked on the intel agencies working with her to perpetuate this lie, and it appears they were only too happy to assist. That's what this scandal's about. Pieces of it we knew. New pieces are coming in by the day thanks to these declassifications. And it's downright shocking. Do not believe that there's no there there. The people who are saying that are wrong. They're wrong. What just broke today, like moments before we came to air, we're still getting our arms around it, was obviously provided to Michael Schellenberger before 2 minutes ago. And his Substack page, Public, that's the name of it, has a fantastic breakdown of what's in this new piece of information, the annex to the Durham report. You remember John Durham was the special counsel appointed under Trump to go through what had been done to him and try to figure out who did it, who helped, and whether anyone should be prosecuted. This woman should be in jail. Literally, Hillary Clinton should be behind bars. And so should the people who worked for her who did this.